Good morning, friends. Welcome to Brooks Brew. I'm your host, Brooke Boylan, and let's get brewing. This episode is sponsored by Boylan Electric. Boylan Electric has been in business since 1990, serving the Maryland, D.C., and Virginia areas. For over 3 decades, they've been providing residential customers with top quality services. As an authorized Generac and Kohler dealer, Boylan Electric installs more generators than any contractor in the DMV. They install and manage many generator sizes ranging from 6 kWs to 150 kWs. Boylan Electric is also certified to do warranty work, repairs, and maintenance on both Generac and Kohler generators. Being a 24/7 electrical service company, Boylan Electric is your one-stop shop for all electrical and generator needs. Call their shop today at 301-990-9686. For more information, look below in the show notes. All right, friends, welcome back to Brooks Brew. Happy Sunday. I would like to start off with saying Happy Mother's Day because today is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Love you, Mom. Appreciate all the things you do for us. Let's give a round of applause for the moms out there. Woo! I could go on and on about talking about my mom. She's my biggest supporter, my biggest fan, my best friend, my twin. Where have you been? My mom says that song to me like all the time. Like she'll be at home, we'll just be staying in the kitchen, and she just hug me, start singing that song. But she likes to make her own little remix version of it. But we don't have to talk about that. So, anyways, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Love you, appreciate you. Go tell your mom you love her and you appreciate her today. Shower her with all the love that she deserves because she does deserve it. And don't worry, the dads out there will get their time to shine back in June. So, anyways, I have a fun topic, or maybe not so fun. It's a little bit of a self-reflective topic I want to talk about today. But before we get into that, I do not have a new coffee shop. Sorry, guys. I have been meaning to go to more coffee shops recently, especially because I'm on break now from school. Finals are over, spring semester's over. Now we're just gearing up and getting ready for summer. But I've taken this time now to do like all the things I've been wanting to do, like around my house, like clean my room, like I don't know, like just things that I had piling up in my brain like over the semester that you're like, you have those things that you're like, I'm gonna get to that one day, but just not right now because I have other priorities I need to take, you know, my time right now. So like cleaning my room is a big thing for me, like purging out my closet, doing the whole spring cleaning thing, cleaning my desk, like getting my stuff organized, like getting test books for next semester, like just little miscellaneous things here and there that I need to do. I'm now using that time now that I have free time to do it because next thing you know, summer classes are going to start up and I'm going to hit the ground running with that and then I'm going to not be able to do those things. So it's been a nice time to just kind of not have to stress about things or stress about going somewhere. But again, I'm sure that I'll find myself at a coffee shop here soon. So I'll have a coffee shop to share with you guys. But like last week, if you guys listened to last week's episode, I was reviewing these Dunkin' iced coffees. And I have another one today. Okay, last week's flavor was cake batter, I believe. Today's flavor is a brownie battered donuts. For those looking on YouTube, you can see the can. Um, so yeah, I just like I said last week, I was at the grocery store. I was just shopping for dinner, and I was way too hungry when I went in there, and I started buying everything in sight. So I saw this, these iced coffees. I was like, that'd be so cool to record, or to review on the pod. And again, these are not feasible for you to be drinking every day. This is definitely like a sweet treat type vibe because there are, in fact, 52 grams of sugar when you include the total and added. And that's absurd. So I really hope that there's people out there that don't drink these every day. And if you do, please stop because you're doing a lot of harm to yourself. You'd be better off just having your own cold brew at home and putting 1-2 tablespoons of your favorite creamer in there. So anyways, let's get into reviewing this one. I did not shake the last one, so we're going to shake this one to wake it because it does say that. I really think that maybe me not shaking it last week had to do with my flavor rating, but here we go. I'm going to try to do an ASMR like Paige did last time. There's no way. Huh? Oh my gosh. We're going to have to hold on. Hold on a minute. There's literally no way. Did y'all just see that on YouTube? That thing just exploded everywhere. Hold on. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I am honestly so shocked that that just happened. For those watching on YouTube, you saw that just literally exploded almost everywhere. And actually, I'm in the splash zone because it just sprayed all over the couch, all over my phone, all over me. Like I have to go all the way over to the freaking hold on. The freaking arm of the couch to wipe this off. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that. Okay, well, maybe this is why I didn't shake it to wake it last time because God knows that that was gonna happen. Okay, we're good now. So let's do a taste. Okay, she's good. Again, the flavor is brownie batter. Okay, yeah, I can taste more of the brownie after the fact, like the aftertaste. It's good. Yeah, I like this. Shoot, I might drink it right now, but I did already have my morning coffee. So, flat out rating. Last time I gave a rookie score, but this is for page four for having a better score. I'm gonna give that honestly, I'm gonna say a 9.8. A 9.8 out of 10. Pretty high, I know. Shocking. Again, do not drink those every day because they're not good for you. But I think like if I was to drink this once in a while, just to, like have it and like treat myself, yeah, I would definitely do that. I would definitely consider this like a little cheat, like splurge type thing. Definitely better than last week's flavor. I think last week's flavor, again, I don't know if shaking it has to do anything with it, but as we can see, shaking it may not be the best case scenario. I maybe also should have waited a second before I opened it, but it's fine. Anyway, so yeah, if you're interested, if you see these on your shelf at the grocery store next time and you're like, oh, like that looks kind of good, and you're like, wait a minute, like it's a donut flavor, and you might be like, oh my gosh, it's overly sweet. That's the thing though. This is not overly sweet. And it's surprising because there's so many grams of sugar in here. And you would think it would taste like you're just drinking straight up sugar, but it's not. I think it's a good balance between the coffee and the milk and the flavoring. They actually did a really good job with making these. So shout out Duncan for you. But again, you don't drink them every day. All right. Now that we're done talking about that, let's get into today's topic. Um, how to deal with self-doubt, how to deal with imposter syndrome, essentially. I've been feeling like this a lot recently, and I think that's why I kind of feel like motivated to talk about it or feel inclined to speak on it. So I'm gonna give you a little story real quick. So a couple weeks ago at school, I was having a meeting with my director of my program, and she was just like asking me how the semester was going, asking me how classes were, and everything of the sort, right? And I was like, "Oh, they're good, it's okay. Like maybe not doing as good as I would like to be, but like I think I'm at a good place." And she goes, "I was just talking about you the other day." And I was like, I hope good things. Like, what do you mean?" And she's like, "No, no, yeah, I was just talking about you the other day with someone and talking about how you started up the student organization that we have. We have like a student leadership program or organization, I should say, that I helped start up at my school because it's a newer program." And she's like, "I talked about all your efforts with that and how you're doing so great and like recording the podcast for that and all stuff like that." Sorry, side little note, side plug. I started a new podcast, shocker, with my grad school. It's called The Green Room. And it's about healthcare and sustainability. So if y'all want to go check it out, I can put the little information in the show notes and you can go check it out. But anyways, back on track. So she's like, "Yeah, I was just talking about how you're starting up the student organization and you're starting the podcast and everything." She goes, "But you're so interesting." And I'm like, in a good way or a bad way. She's like, "Your work that we're like hard copy on paper, like when you look at your scores and your data of how you perform as a student," she's like, "You're like amazing. Like you're so smart." And she's like, "But then you talk to you and you just don't exude that confidence of like someone who knows what they're doing." She's like, "Cause you're doubting yourself. Like you have so much potential and you do show that you have those skills to do it, but then you don't believe in it yourself." And I kind of was like, wow, damn. Like it kind of just like like my heart sunk a little bit because I was like, ugh. Because you don't ever want to hear that, you don't want to hear that you don't believe in yourself or you're not confident enough or that you're not, you know, you don't want to hear that that people can see through you, if that makes sense. Like you don't want to know that people can see, call out on your bluff and know that you're not maybe necessarily as confident as you maybe think you are exuding or that you're showing yourself to be. So I just kind of was like, damn. I mean, like, I feel like she's kind of right because I think also we're always going to be our biggest critics, right? Yourself is your biggest critic inside yourself. So And I think that comes into play with the self doubt and the imposter syndrome, saying how, yeah, I could be straight A student and got all that stuff going on, but like I don't feel that for myself. Like, for example, I've had plenty of friends and even family members who were just like, they do so well, but then they don't believe in themselves, but they're like, oh, but it's not enough. Or like, oh, I'm not the smartest person. Like, oh, well, I got an A, but someone else got like, or let me do percentages. Like someone got a 92, or I got a 92 on the exam, but somebody else got a 94. So that makes me less than them. No, like you both got A's at the end of the day. So why are you self-doubting yourself? You know what I mean? So, anyways, after this conversation with my professor, I kind of started to reflect on myself a little bit and being like, why am I so hard on myself? Like, why don't I believe in myself? Because I'm clearly showing I have the skills and the abilities, the leadership skills, the knowledge to be the go-to person. Like, when you think of that person who's your go-to, that like, is super knowledgeable, like knows their stuff, like works really hard, and you like, I don't want to say idolize them, but like you look up to them and you're like, that's the person I want to strive to be. Like, why don't we look at that as ourselves? Like, why don't I look at myself in the mirror and being like, I am the person I want to be. Like, I'm my own role model. I'm my own idol. Like, I'm that girl. I'm literally that girl. You know what I mean? So it just made me realize that a lot of people, I feel like especially college students or just younger, um, I wasn't gonna say girls, but younger kids, like in their 20s, I think when we're in these like developmental stages of life, like especially just being an adult or early, I don't even say adult, but like a young adult, a kid in your 20s, we just always feel like we're messing up. Like, and it's definitely a period of trial and error. It's definitely a phase of growth. You're never going to always be successful. You're going to learn a lot from your failures. You're going to fail a lot. Um, but that's just a part of growing up in life. But again, I think because we get knocked down so many times, we think that we're not good enough and that we doubt ourselves and we're like, we're never going to get there. But like, why don't we just shift our mindset? Okay. So I was good old Google. I was looking up on Google, like ways to combat self doubt, right? And here's what the list is compiled of, okay? It says practice self compassion. And I think for coming with that, what does it say? It says self doubt means that you're holding back yourself. It arises from fear of making a mistake, but mistakes are how we grow and improve our own abilities. Valid. It says look at yourself in the mirror and say 3 positive affirmations at the beginning of every day. Now, I'm not going to sit here and like read this exhaustive list of things that you need to do to make yourself feel better, because I think we all know at the end of the day what we do need to do. I think what I'm trying to like what I want to talk about is a matter of like acting on it. Okay, I know that I'm a good person. I know that I'm successful. I know I am equipped with all the skills that I need to do, that I need to achieve my goals that I want to, okay? But again, we have this mental battle with ourselves and our mind that we think we're not good enough. And as silly as it is to say, saying positive affirmations, like it's saying, does work. Reflecting on your past is not going to help you. You can't keep falling into the cycle where you keep looking back on the past and saying like, oh, that mistake I made is like really hindering me. Okay, what's in the past is in the past. Like, let's look forward. Okay, that's done now. You made the mistake, you learn from it, and you move on. And I think maybe also reflecting on the big successors that you've had in your life too. Even though there have been mistakes in your life, there's a lot of things that you probably did that you were very successful in too. So remind yourself how you got to that successful point. How did you feel at that moment? And how can you achieve that again? And then also, I know it's silly to say, and I'm someone that, doesn't really like to do this, but journaling helps too. Because I think at the end of the day, like I was saying earlier, you are always just going to battle with your inner thoughts. You're your own biggest critic. So I think when you just write down on paper like what your thoughts are in your brain and kind of just get it out. You don't even have to talk to anybody about it. You don't have to ever go back and read it again. But just a word vomit on the paper about whatever you're thinking, and then just be like, you know what? These thoughts are not true. Like, that's another thing, is like kind of differentiating from your thoughts. Like, what is true and what am I doing like lying to myself? And realizing that you're not your thoughts. Anyway, so I really hope I'm kind of making sense in this like ramble of what I'm talking about. But what I want everyone to gain from what the conversation of today is about is that no matter what, you're always going to maybe have a little bit of self-doubt. But the way that we can start to shift our mindset and kind of get out of that is definitely like shifting more, instead of having like a fixed mindset, moving into a growth mindset, okay? Knowing that you're going to fail, but knowing that you can learn from them, and knowing that you're going to succeed, and then still being able to learn from that and grow from that as well. And I think also it's self-love is hard sometimes. We think we don't deserve love. Sometimes we don't we think we don't deserve to be treated a certain way, and we downgrade ourselves and think less of ourselves, but we need to stop. Like, and I don't know any other better way to say like to you than to say like, oh, like you're never gonna think about it, or oh, just stop doing it. Like, no, we all know it's easier said than done. We know that you're gonna have bad days, we know you're gonna have great days, but it's just the ebbs and flows of life, as we've said time and time again. But I think choosing yourself every day and actively making the decision for yourself to be like, I know I'm a good person, I'm going to put my best foot forward, and I'm going to surround myself with supportive people that know who I am deep down and are going to lift me up. Practicing positive affirmations, seeking opportunities are going to make me grow as a person, because I think that's a big thing too, is learning and accepting your faults. That you, like, again, no one's a perfect person. Like, I know that there's a lot of things within me that do need some refining and that could be better. Like, I can grow as a person in certain or areas of my life, and I'm not afraid to admit that. Like, because again, that's another thing, is that you have to also be self-reflective to know that, like, actually realize that, okay, maybe these are my own opinions and beliefs in my mind that are biased towards a certain thing or a certain habit that do actually need changing. And I think once you step into that, that'll also help you grow as a person, and battle with the self-doubt and the imposter syndrome. But again, at the end of the day, just remembering that wherever you're at in life, whether it be in grad school, your job, literally whatever, knowing that everything that you've done in your past, whether they be success or failures, have brought you to this point for a reason. And you are in the position you are because of all the hard work that you've done in the past. If you hadn't done that, you wouldn't be where you are right now. So why are you going to doubt yourself and have imposter syndrome, saying, oh, I'm not qualified enough, or I'm not good enough for this? Clearly you are, because you made it to where you're at today. So why are you thinking like that? Like, get it out of your brain. Come on now. Don't limit yourself, girly. Like, be confident in yourself to know that I've put the work in, I put in the time, and I deserve to be in this position. And that's it. That's really all I got to say to you. And again, like I just said, it's easier said than done. Again, I struggle with this a lot myself. Point blank period. My director of my program could see right through me and say that, like, trying to even lift me up as a, like, that's me surrounding myself with my supportive group of people. She's someone that I look up to, and I'm like, gosh, I want to be just like you. And here she is telling me, like, hey, you can be the same way, but you just need to believe in yourself. You need to be more confident in your abilities. And I think, again, no, we will never become confident in our own abilities unless we start to believe in it within ourselves, and also do things that get us to that point. Am I making sense? I really hope so. I know I say that all the time, but sometimes I just have a lot of things in my brain that I just sit down in front of the camera and I start to ramble. And I know my friends understand what I'm trying to say, because I like to go like circle around into a bunch of different points until I finally hone in on one. But I hope you all can follow with that. So if there's anything that I want you to take away from today, is that yes, self-doubt and imposter syndrome are going to be there. It's never going to go away. It may lessen as time goes on, and I think that just comes with time and experience and growth as an adult. And yes, it's going to be maybe lingering in the back of your mind just a little bit, but we can definitely combat that by, I think, taking the time to invest in yourself. Invest in your health, invest in your well-being, investing in your career, like any sort of investment that you see fit to help you feel good as a person. And the ways, like we just talked about, the ways to do that are literally as point blank period simple as this: talking positively to yourself. The way that you talk to yourself impacts you more than you would ever imagine. If you're sitting here, yes, telling yourself, I'm not good enough, I'm not going to achieve this, I'm not going to do this, that, whatever, then yeah, you're not, because you're already telling yourself that in your brain. So how do you think that by you saying this into your brain, already having this fixed mindset, that if someone was to come along and tell you, like, hey, you're doing such a great job, you did great on this and that, why do you think you're going to be able to receive that? You're not, because you don't even believe in it in yourself. So if someone comes and tells you it, then you're going to be like, oh, they're just saying that. Like, they don't actually mean that. So start with yourself, fix your mindset first, because then you'll start to be able to open all the compliments and the opportunities from that are coming towards you, because you'll believe in yourself. Be like, yeah, you know what, that person is right. Like, I am good at this. I am smart, I'm successful, all this, that, and the other. And again, supporting or surrounding yourself with a supportive group of people is so, 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 so important. Like, I can't even stress that enough. Rely on your family, rely on your friends, rely on your significant others. They are the ones who can see you through a different lens that we don't always see ourselves through. And they're going to be the ones that will truly lift you up at the end of the day. So make sure that you have a supportive group of people. And then finally, like, journaling. journal, just get your thoughts out. Again, I find this silly to me sometimes. I always battle with journaling for myself just because I feel like what's the point? Like if I'm not gonna read it again or someone else is not gonna read it, why am I doing it? But honestly, the times that I have journaled when I have been feeling really super overwhelmed and stressed and I just get my thoughts out on the paper, just word vomit, I literally feel so much better. And I don't even know how to explain it, like why it works or why it happens. It just does. And there's just like, I don't want to say there's science, there's evidence-based research. I'm sure there is. I haven't looked at the research out there, but I'm sure there's something that is some research proving that that does work. And I think again, you don't even have to talk negatively in your journaling. Like you can do like self-love prompts. You can talk about like what are the blessings I've had in my life so far? Like what are some three successes I've had in this past week and like where do I see myself going next week? It doesn't have to be negative. It can be very self-reflective and very uplifting. And I think sometimes we think we have a negative connotation with journaling that has to be like all our bad, deep, darkest secrets onto paper. If that's what you need to do, then go ahead. But also, you can interchange it where, yes, you can just get all the dark stuff out, but then you can also write the uplifting stuff too. So that's all I'm going to say on all of that. I hope that you were able to gain something from this conversation today, that you walk away with maybe a little bit more knowledge or a little bit maybe like ignite a little fire inside you to realize that you are a good person. You have a lot going for you. The stuff you've done to get to the place you're at today has paid off. You're a hard worker. You are worth it. And just ultimately just be self-reflective in yourself. That's the biggest thing I can say for you to take away. Is just be self-reflective and know what motivates you and drives you and how to help you move forward. Does this make sense? I really hope so. All right, y'all. I could sit here and ramble for literally all day. I think we all know that, but I'm not going to do that. So, again, happy Mother's Day. Shout out to all the moms out there. Your mom is probably your biggest fan, so go tell her you love her. Like I said earlier, give her a great big hug if you're able to be with your mom today. I'm gonna be with my mom today, and we're gonna have a great day. So I would say what we're doing, but I don't want her to know. And plus, I mean, she'll be watching this later at this point, but it doesn't matter. It's a secret, okay? That's for me, and my mom to be doing, and my sister and my dad. So anyways, thank you guys for listening. Again, hope you guys made from today's conversation, but we'll catch y'all again next week with a new episode, and I'll talk to you later, friends. Bye.